Hey, this is Chris Ryan from Tell the Damn Story. Alex Simmons has been called into action, out saving the universe, and he has left me to talk to you today. Say, hey, how you doing? And introduce a little bit of part 2 of our interview with Jessica Thompson. It's an interesting origin story and a great lesson for emerging writers about being a self-starter. Jessica Thompson, she sought us out. She cold called us and pitched herself as an interview subject. And we were intrigued. So we did our due diligence and checked her out. And yep, she had some writing credits and all that sort of stuff. And a few more really interesting things. We got in contact, and the rest, as they say, is history. But one of the things we wanted to do, we wanted to have a few more questions where we just talked to her about the idea of being a self-starter, the idea of organizing yourself to the point where you reach out and create your own opportunities, your own knock on doors and create your own moments where you move your career forward. She had great answers. I think they're very helpful. I think you will enjoy them. This is going to be a really short episode, probably with this introduction, maybe about 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. And you'll be out of here, boom, in a jiffy. Ladies and gentlemen, please check out Alex Simmons and me talking with Jessica Thompson about being a self-starter, getting out there, and getting yours. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Why don't we move into this business arena that Chris was so interested in, that I have some questions on myself. So, Jessica, we've come to know you as an author in this short time that we've had together, but you mentioned that you developed a book touring company, in effect, or agency, based on initially your own sort of research and priming to book your own tours. So what made you want to turn this into a business?
I think it was just that it was really hard the first time. Oops. I knew other people were hiring out their book tours, but I was trying to do the bootstrap route. So even though I had a publisher, I was in charge of a lot of the marketing, which I hear, even if you're big five, you apparently have to do a lot of your own marketing. I'm not sure.
What's your platform as a state?
Yeah. So I was arranging my own book tour, basically, and cold calling all these strangers. And only a certain number of them respond because I probably look like a scammer or something. I don't know. I don't know what my message on Instagram. Yeah. So my message on Instagram is like, hey, can I be on your podcast? Hey, can I get on your schedule for a review? Whatever. And it was really hard and took so much time. So the more I do it, the less time it takes, because now I know who to call. Hopefully I can call you guys again.
What? Oh, yes, of course.
For either subsequent books of mine and other people's books. So I know who responds to their emails and who will actually let me on their schedule. So with each book, it gets easier. So if everyone had to do that first book every time, that'd be really rough. So I can do it faster, more efficient. So it's not only that I can do it more efficiently than they can, because I now know who to call, how to do it. And I've got a system down, like a spreadsheet, and how to schedule them all.
You get the system in place.
Yeah. So I can do it better, faster.
And you have a name for this hustle now, right?
Yeah. You mean Bittersweet Book Tours?
There we go.
Yeah. I should be dropping the name.
All right. I want to talk, I know your publishing imprint is going to be Bittersweet Books, but there's also Bittersweet Book Tours. Is that you as well?
Yeah. So I started organizing book tours because I realized I was doing the way I got in touch with you guys. It was
stalking
Hey,
us. It
can
was
I be on
terrible.
your
It was quite
podcast?
frightening. Yeah. She was shadowing us for days. It was terrible. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Yeah.
Jumping out from behind things. Hey, put me on your podcast.
I think the thing that made us put you on our podcast was you threatened to send Violet over to cater something, and
I threatened.
we were worried
to
for our
tell them,
lives.
"Shut up."
So could you talk about Bittersweet Book Tours? What did you do?
Oh,
What is it? How we?
Yeah, so since I was already setting up my own, now I have a bunch of contacts, so I can set up virtual book tours for other authors. I just set up interviews and podcasts, Instagram reviews, Facebook group takeovers, all that stuff. So across like every platform. So then every time I get a new author to sign up, I'm like, okay, which platforms do you want to do? If you don't want to be on video, then we'll skip YouTube. If you don't know what to write a guest post article about, then we'll skip that. We'll just do interview ones so that they're just feeding you questions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it can be different for every author, every client. But yeah, we're setting up virtual book tours, and then that's a effective and cheap way to promote your book. So usually it's around a book launch. It doesn't have to be, but
That's interesting. So is it a menu item situation where you say, here's what I offer, and they see what fits them, or do you consult with them on it?
yeah, I consult with them. So we'll have a Zoom, and then, hey, how big of a package do you want? 5 appearances, 10 appearances, or 20 appearances? So far, I've only had people do the 20, like big ones, but I don't know. If I was just starting out, I might start with a small package. I don't know if I can trust this weird lady, so I'm just going to sign up for a small package.
So if someone were to try 5 with this weird lady and find out she's not so weird, then they could say, oh, I want to do more, and you would add. That's nice. So that's something for people to think about.
Obviously,
so small commitment.
Something about your personality. Obviously, they go, let's go for broke here.
That's right.
Yes.
It gets much weirder than this. Yeah.
And you did mention that it was very affordable.
Yeah.
How would an author who has worked diligently and has a good product, how would they get in touch with Bittersweet Book Tours? And try and get signed on for your services?
Oh, good. So I just tell people to email me at bittersweetbooktours@gmail. Or there's a page on my website. My website is
that.
Jessica. What was that?
What website is that?
Yes, Jessica, what website?
Do tell. So my website is jessicathompsonauthor.com. So either on there or emailing me at bittersweetbooktours@gmail, or even my personal email, my author email.
There you go.
It's not personal. My author email is jessicaisanauthor@gmail. It's a self-affirmation in the early days.
Sure enough, it is. Showing up.
Yeah. But yeah, because it's really nice to have someone hold your hand.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to put this together?
It didn't take me that long to switch it over to doing book tours for strangers, because I helped a couple friends with it as practice, and I had already practiced on myself. So a lot of the stuff was already in place. I already had a spreadsheet I was using, knew who to call, and I'm still constantly reaching out to new people. With every book, it's okay, I can reach a little farther and reach a little farther.
So let's go over who you reach out to. So clearly, YouTube podcasting people like Beanie and Cecil over here, Bud and Lou. So I would imagine you reach out to podcasts, YouTube shows. Who else? What other kind of things?
Let's see. So Instagram, like Bookstagrammers, who are doing reviews of books, or Facebook groups. They'll do a lot of, or people also post Bookstagram, but on Facebook. So yeah, people that are reviewing books on Facebook too. And then there's Facebook groups that, like, they're reader groups, but they'll do a Facebook takeover. So 2 hours, or one of them was a whole day where you're posting a lot about your book for that one day. So you try to go for engagement and you ask questions. So it's, hey, do you have any fun stories from a ranch? And look at this video of me tromping through the field and avoiding cow patties. And so you relate it to your book. But yeah, a Facebook group takeover, or there's even Clubhouse discussions. I don't know if everyone's heard about Clubhouse. What was that?
Is Clubhouse still a thing?
Yeah, I think it's leveled off a bit. But yeah, Clubhouse group discussions, and
you do X or Twitter or Thread?
Yeah, exactly. Or Twitter, people will post about books. Again, like a short review. Or podcasts that talk about either writing or books. So either reader podcasts or writer podcasts. Blogs. Oh yeah, we haven't even talked about blogs. So they'll also call virtual book tours blog tours, because that's the default, or like the original version.
Sure.
Before 2020, there were actual go in person book tours and there were blog tours. But now I feel like almost everyone's gone digital. Anyway, so you can go on people's blogs and either do a guest post about writing, like I did one about subtext. So how to write good subtext. Or there's ones that interview authors. So it's, hi, I'm Jessica, blah, blah, blah. And so there's lots of different types of blogs. Or did I already say YouTube? There's YouTube channels.
And the purpose of this is to obviously draw some attention or gain some attention to your book, or to the writer, his or herself.
Yeah.
And do you find, and this is going to sound like a ridiculous question, but just bear with me. Have you found a way to determine how effective one methodology is over another, or what appearances work better for a particular type of genre?
So far, I haven't set up any UTMs, which is the next step. I'm apparently supposed to be tracking my links and seeing how effective they are. I haven't gotten there yet.
Yep. Data
UTMs.
mining.
I'm going to go down that rabbit hole anytime now. But so far, I'm looking at my Amazon sales and which day. So this Facebook takeover was this day, and look how high the sales are. Or this podcast came out this day, and look how high the sales are. So mostly that, but also I'm going with just industry knowledge. So if you have a short book review on TikTok, apparently it does really well. Oh yeah, I didn't mention. So TikTokers too, or book talkers.
Book talkers.
Yeah. And it also depends like who your readership is. So TikTok for the younger readers. Anyway, where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So I'm watching the sales on each day and just figuring that out. And oh yeah, and then the industry knowledge is, Book Talk is a good place for it. But apparently if you appear on an actual TV show like the morning news, it does almost nothing.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah. That was disappointing because I was like, ooh, that's el ultimo.
That's the pinnacle, right?
Top. Yeah. So apparently I don't need to be reaching for that.
How about newspapers? That seems to be going the same way.
Yeah, that's true. But there are, so I'll do some newspaper or like online magazine kind of interviews.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it would depend on the genre, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it depends on your genre and therefore who's reading it and therefore where they are.
Yeah,
so
where's your audience? Where do they live?
Yeah, exactly. So my audience pretty much lives on Instagram and Facebook. They're not on TikTok. Or maybe some, not a lot.
Let me ask you a question. This is the bane of most writers' existence, right? Is that question. Find your audience, your perfect audience member, right? Now you just said my audience is mostly on Instagram, and how did you determine that?
It's just overgeneralizations about who's using, like, who's using Instagram, who's
Right.
using Facebook, who's using TikTok. So TikTok is the younger crowd. And it's overgeneralizing, but it also works.
Mm-hmm.
So don't completely ignore TikTok, but I'm going to spend my energy on Instagram because that's apparently, air quotes, it's teachers and moms
On what?
on
Teachers and
Instagram.
On
moms.
Instagram, teachers and moms. And Facebook is older folks.
Yeah. So I've heard it's older, but also I've noticed it's more international. So because I was with a publisher, and anyway, all their writers were like a lot of UK writers, and they were all on Facebook. So it was like, oh, maybe Facebook's more international too. So that's my current theory.
All right. Alex, anything else, sir?
No, just once more remind us of the books that you have out and the one that's coming out.
Oh, thank you. All right. My latest book is Shoot, Shovel, and Shut Up. It's like a classic mystery, and it's available on Amazon. And my culinary cozy mysteries with recipes in them, they're A Caterer's Guide to Crime. That's the series name.
Mhm.
And the newest one will come out in January, probably January 11th. And that's going to be A Caterer's Guide to Valentines and Violence, because it's a Valentine's Day one.
And what are the
And,
two that are out already?
The two in the series that are already out are A Caterer's Guide to Love and Murder and A Caterer's Guide to Holidays and Homicide. And then Holidays and Homicide, obviously it's December. That one's probably my bestseller because everybody loves Christmas.
Death. Right. Death and Christmas. Yeah, okay, there we
Yep.
go.
Can't beat 'em.
And food. Everyone loves food too.
Thank you so much for joining us today, for finding us, for researching and coming across
Being adventurous.
that connection.
Yeah.
And thank you for talking to us about your books and about Bittersweet Book Tours. And we will definitely have you back again.
Great.
Yes, keep in
Follow
touch.
up. See how
Send
you're
us some
doing.
clients.
Yeah. Thank
Maybe
you.
closer to the release date of your next book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can schedule you for January.
Hey,
Yeah, Chris, anything you want to say other than what
yes,
you
thank you
normally
very much. Much, and
Thank
we will talk
you.
to you again. Yeah,
Yeah. This is
Jessica
great.
Thompson, everybody.
Everybody, yeah, and please give us your comments, your thoughts, your questions. I will put links to Jessica's website in the comments area, so look for that there. If you have any questions for her, you can write directly to her or leave it for us and we'll make sure she gets them.
Remember, and subscribe.
And subscribe too. Okay, take care, everybody. And we'll see you. Bye-bye, Chris.
Bye.
Thanks.